3 days after Sheikh Hasina's abrupt departure from Bangladesh, the country might be coming back on track. The demands of the students have been heard and Dr. Muhammad Yunus has landed in Dhaka. He's set to take oath as the head of the interim government.
Using the means of revolution, Bangladesh will create its new dawn of victory. Keeping this vision ahead of us, we have to keep going. I want to express my gratitude and praise the youths who've made this possible. They have protected this country and given it rebirth, and we wish for this new Bangladesh to progress with speed.
Now, our sources say that Yunus has been holding back-to-back meetings with student leaders to finalize a cabinet. At the moment, there is no government in Bangladesh and the main opposition BNP has demanded an election within 3 months. However, there isn't much clarity over what the interim government will agree to. Rules suggest that the polls should be held 90 days from dissolving the country's parliament, and that was done this Tuesday. Students had demanded 84-year-old Yunus as the interim government's head and categorically said that they will not accept anyone else. Dr. Muhammad Yunus was born in 1940 in Chittagong. He's a PhD holder and used to teach in the United States. That was until the liberation war of Bangladesh. Yunus returned in 1972 and went on to become a central figure in rural development of the country. He founded the Grameen Bank in 1983 to provide loans to entrepreneurs. Yunus was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for pioneering the use of microcredit to help impoverished people. After being a vocal critic of Sheikh Hasina, he was slapped with multiple charges. This January, Yunus was convicted for violating labor laws. He was sentenced to 6 months behind bars, but was later granted bail. And now he will be tasked to pull Bangladesh out of a major crisis. Remember, protests broke out last month over a job quota ruling. However, anger soon ballooned over daily life issues and ultimately forced Sheikh Hasina to resign and flee the country. Nearly 300 people have been killed within weeks in one of the most violent phases of Hasina's 15-year rule. Now, to take this further, we are being joined by Professor Sabir Ahmed. He is a professor at the Department of Political Science at the University of Dhaka. Professor, thank you so much for joining us here on WION. Let me quickly tell you, our sources suggest that the interim government might not have any politician. I want to ask you, what happens from here?
Okay, thank you very much. Today, a new interim government in Bangladesh has been constituted, headed by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate of Bangladesh. In this new interim government, there is no politician has been included. Yeah, I hope this new government will take oath tonight, and they will be starting their normal activities from tomorrow on. And one of the main challenges that the interim government will be facing, that they immediately have to take control over the law and order situation in the country. All right. So I hope after that, the only mandate that the interim government is going to implement is that they have to organize a free and fair election, and then they have to transfer power to the next government. Thank you.
Absolutely. And speaking of the next government, the main opposition party, the BNP, has urged that within 3 months the country should hold elections. What do you think about that?
You know, the holding next election under this interim government, it will be challenged because the same problem might recur. But in this time, the opposition along with some other minor parties will be participating in this election. In that case, the former ruling party, Bangladesh Army League, may not join the next election. It is
Right.
Because the party require the internal reorganization. At the moment, they are facing kind of wrath of the opposition parties, facing a lot of problems. Their properties and their, some of the leaders' houses have been ransacked and they've been set on fire. So it will be difficult for the interim government to control the situation within 3 months.
Absolutely, and that seems like a huge task at their hand. Professor, before I let you go, after Sheikh Hasina had fled, one of the first comments that came from Dr. Yunus was, and I'm quoting him, "Today all the people of Bangladesh feel liberated." And just after landing in Dhaka, he had said to the entire country that the youth has given Bangladesh a rebirth. There's a sense of reincarnation of Bangladesh in every single comment that we are seeing from Dr. Yunus, who is going to head the interim government, as you also mentioned. I want to ask you if this feeling is across Bangladesh. Why I ask you this is because this January itself, there were elections in Bangladesh and Awami League, the party of Sheikh Hasina, was re-elected for a 5th time. So this feeling of reincarnation of Bangladesh, is it mutual across the country?
Yes, that's right. That through this student movement, the students, they have forced the former leader, the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, to step down, because as you know, that since 2040 in Bangladesh, there are a couple of elections, 2040, 2018, and 2024. These 3 major elections have held, without any effective participation of the opposition parties.
Absolutely.
So there has been a serious legitimacy crisis of the previous government. So hopefully, it is expected that the new election that is going to held in 3 months, people will expect that it will be participatory, but I wonder whether it is going to be participatory in real sense, because this time the party, that means Bangladesh Awami League, may not join this election, or maybe they are not prepared. They may not be prepared to join this election.
Absolutely, Professor. You do raise a very important question there. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION. We are completely out of time. Thank you so much for getting us your insights. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.